Today, the dark lip is making a debut on my channel. I've never worn a dark lip before, but I have all the fall vibes right now. I have the sweatshirt, I have the lip. I'm just missing some decor, but bear with me because I don't have any. Hello book reading friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Melanie, and today we have the finally fall book tag. I was tagged by Maya from You Read My Mind, and honestly, thank you for tagging me because a girl loves a good tag, especially if it's fall winter related, my two favorite seasons. I recently uploaded a video on fall book recommendations, so I'll also leave that linked down below in case you want to check it out. And although I uploaded that video fairly recently, I will find any excuse to do any fall related videos, and on top of that, an excuse to do any tag. If you have yet to subscribe to my channel, you can do so down below for more bookish content. I am constantly uploading videos, around 2-3 videos a week, plus all of the live streams that I do throughout the week. You can also follow me on all of my social medias, which are always linked down below, as well as my Amazon wish list. Let's get right started with the questions. Question number 1 is, in fall, the air is crisp and clear. Name a book with a vivid setting. Hear me out, okay? In this channel, we are Sarah J. Maas stans. There is no other way of life for me. And for this, I have to say Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. This is one of my favorite books that I read this year. It is such a stunning book, and I cannot wait for the next book in this series because I need to find out what happens next. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be saying synopses for these books. Should I? I'm gonna give you a synopsis anyway. In this book, we follow Bryce Quinlan, who is half fae, half human, and she finds herself in the midst of a murder investigation. Alongside her, there's also Hunt Athalar, who is a fallen angel, and he is tasked alongside Bryce to try and solve this mystery that has basically taken over this world. And as they start going into the case, they start finding some really dark stuff, and as they get involved with each other, there may also be the possibility of romance. This is an adult fantasy, but this is also borderline paranormal romance because you do have angels and demons and you have vampires. Basically, you have every single creature in this book. The description and the setting of this book is so vivid. The blueprint of the city in this book lives rent-free in my brain. If you asked me to draw a blueprint of how Crescent City looks like, I would be able to do it. That is how vivid the setting is in this book. I absolutely adored it. Again, it is one of my favorite reads of the year. I cannot wait for the second one to come out, and there is just so much that this book offers. Oh my god, the ending of this book completely destroyed me. Question number 2. Nature is beautiful but also dying. Name a book that is beautifully written but also deals with a heavy topic like loss or grief. I honestly feel like at this point every fall video is going to contain the same books, and for that I'm sorry, but it's just the way it is over here. For this, I am definitely going to choose The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, and I'm primarily choosing this book because her writing style is very lyrical, and that in and out of itself makes the writing experience so much more beautiful, and it hits you even harder. And this book talks a lot about, yes, about loss, yes, about grief, but that's not necessarily its focal point. This book talks a lot about loneliness and what it means to be remembered, and so definitely I feel like this book fits this particular prompt really, really well. And I'm just going to leave down below my reading vlog for this because at this point I feel like I've said the synopsis of this book so many times I don't need to anymore. Another book that really fits this prompt is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I'm not gonna give you a synopsis. I'm just gonna link you down below to my Poppy War reading vlog, and that's all you'll need to watch to be convinced that you need to pick this one up. The writing style in this is not lyrical in the slightest. It is very raw. It just tells you stuff as it is, but there's such a beauty in that too, and there are so many passages that I found myself underlining and highlighting and tabbing. And because the book is about war, it is very dark in its nature, and of course loss and grief are bound to be some of the most predominant topics in this book. I'll link you to my Poppy War reading vlog down below and in the cards. Después me echan un cuento. Después me echan un cuento is all I'm saying. Question number 3 is, fall is back to school season. Share a non-fiction book that taught you something new. I feel like this is just me fitting in all of the books that I've read recently, or all of my favorite books of 2020. And for this, I'm definitely gonna use The Rape of Nanking by Iris Chang. I read that book primarily as preparation for the Poppy War. I didn't read it before. I read it throughout my read of the Poppy War, but it was so informative and educational that I really do think whether you read the Poppy War or not, it is definitely worth giving it a read because it retells the events of what happened back in the Sino-Japanese War when Japanese soldiers invaded Nanking and roughly murdered around 300,000 Chinese civilians, of which 80,000 women were brutally raped and murdered. And in the book, you get all of the timeline and you get specific chapters regarding specific topics and events that happened in the Rape of Nanking. And again, I just found it incredibly educational and something that I'd particularly never heard about before. Whenever I can educate myself outside of a classroom or outside of what is being taught in traditional education, I totally will. So again, I definitely encourage you to read this book. Question number 4 is, in order to keep warm, it's good to spend some time with the people we love. Name a fictional family, household, friend group that you'd like to be a part of. As soon as I read this question, I knew my answer, and that would definitely be The Merry Thieves from Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. Chain of Gold is the first installment in her newest trilogy called The Last Hours, which follows the events after the Infernal Devices, and we have Cordelia Carstairs and James Herondale. Now, after the Infernal Devices, everything has been pretty much peace and quiet. There is zero to none demonic activity in London, but as the Blackthorns and the Carstairs arrive in London, suddenly that demonic activity starts picking up and they bring a plague along with them. And this friend group is everything I've ever wanted and more. They are so mischievous, but they are also so loyal to each other, and you can sense that palpable love that they have. Oh my god, do I want to be a part of that friend group so bad. I am willing to be the only girl in the Merry Thieves, okay? I am willing to be even an honorary member. I don't even have to be an official member of the group. I don't mind it, okay? Whatever I can get, I'll take it. They literally have a man cave, okay? They literally have a man cave in which they hang out. I would just love to meet James and Christopher and Thomas and Matthew and be friends with all of them. Sounds like a dream. The colorful leaves are piling up on the ground. Show us a pile of fall-colored spines. Hold 1 second. I'll be back. I feel like this qualifies as a fall pile of spines. So let me break this down. We have Sea of Monsters by Rick Riordan, The Battle of the Labyrinth, also Percy Jackson series. We have The Red Pyramid, also by Rick Riordan, but this is the Kane Chronicles. Of course, I have to sneak in a Cassandra Clare book, so City of Heavenly Fire. This book that we don't really talk about. We have Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. I hella love this book, okay? One of my favorite books of the year, Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. We have the book that I'm currently reading, Never Look Back by Lilian Rivera. And then we have Magic Lessons by Alice Hoffman. That looks pretty. That looks on brand with fall. The fall colored spines right behind me. Did I accomplish that? I think I did. Let's move on to the next question. Fall is the perfect time for some storytelling by the fireside. Share a book wherein somebody is telling a story. I have one book in mind, but I can't really put that in the question because that's kind of like a plot twist in the story. So I'm not going to include the book because there ain't no spoilers on this channel. So I think I'm just gonna go for The Kane Chronicles by Rick Riordan. The book literally starts with like somebody saying that they're telling a story, I think. Yeah, we only have a few hours, so listen carefully. If you're hearing this story, you're already in danger. So it's literally like telling you what to do. I have never read The Kane Chronicles. I own the first book, but I've never actually read it. I hope Disney Hyperion does something right for Uncle Rick and change their paperback format because these paperbacks are stiff as hell, okay? Them old editions, like the original copies of all of Rick Riordan's books, like paperback versions, are hella stiff. Like the pages, look at that. It doesn't flop, okay? It doesn't do anything. The nights are getting darker. They're a dark, creepy read. A dark, creepy read. I think the only thing that comes to mind is Verity by Colleen Hoover, and I may be forgetting some books that I've read, but for some reason that's the first one that comes to mind just because the book is very disturbing and it deals with a lot of taboos. It also has a lot of trigger warnings. So I definitely would say that that's one of the darker books that I've read this year. year. Yeah, I would definitely say Verity because they be doing some crazy stuff in that book. The days are getting colder. Name a short, heartwarming read that could warm up somebody's cold and rainy day. I think it is very fitting now that we're in a pandemic for this book to warm up your soul and your entire being. I am talking about the greatest short novel to ever exist, and that is Kissing the Coronavirus. What a book. You know, when I first read this, I actually felt like I was being revolutionized. I felt like my life was being rearranged in a way where it trumps every book out there. The level of talent that this book has is just outstanding. I'm totally kidding, by the way. I hope y'all know I'm kidding. Short, heartwarming read? Oh my god, it's at the bottom of the pile. Are you kidding me? I feel like everyone is going to have a different definition of what they consider a short read. For me, a short read is like 300 pages, 350 max. Like that for me is a short read. For this, I am going to say Never Look Back by Lilian Rivera. I am not even done with this book. I am about 70% in. I am only 100 pages out from finishing. But this is such a cute story. It follows two Afro-Puerto Ricanos after Hurricane Maria. It's set in New York. And this book is an Orpheus Eurydice retelling in which the girl named Yuri is being haunted by this entity, demon-like thing. And the one thing that the male lead in this book called Fias wants to do is to rid Yuri of all of her demons and to protect her and save her from whatever threatens her. So it is such a cute, heartwarming read. And again, it's Latinx. It's a fairly short read and I am really enjoying it. It is a really cute story. Fall returns every year. Name an old favorite that you'd like to return to soon. For this question, I have two answers. It's just one's nostalgic and then the other one is just my all-time favorite series that I reread all the time because at this point it's just a purely comfort read for me. The first one that I really want to revisit, and I am thinking of revisiting this series either in November or December, and it is the Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan. I haven't read this in the longest time and I really just want to do like a reread vlog for the Percy Jackson series. I first picked this up when I think at the time I was 9. As you can see, I have the movie bind up, which is around the time that I got it. I feel like this was 2009. I may be so far off. Okay, 2010. That's when I first picked up the book. I must have been 10 or 11 at the time and I just remember loving this so much, and this is literally such a throwback and I'll show you why. For those who live in the US back in the 2010s, y'all will know that Borders was like a big bookstore. I literally got this book on Borders. Okay, Borders doesn't even exist anymore if I'm not mistaken, and I have the entire series as you can see. I also have 4 books in the Heroes of Olympus series, which I loved so much too. I have yet to finish House of Hades and the last book. I have the last book on my wish list, which is The Blood of Olympus. I really need to get that book, so maybe I'll do like a reading vlog situation for all of Percy Jackson. I don't know, we'll see, but I really want to revisit this world. I really want to read about the demigods again and all of their quests. And the other series that I want to revisit, which I revisit anyway like every single day because it lives on my head rent-free 24/7, 365 days a year, all of my life around, and it is ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I love this series with my entire being. This series is literally my all-time favorite series. So A Court of Thorns and Roses, the first book, is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and we follow Feyre, who is a human girl, and she is basically the one person that keeps her household standing. She is a huntress, and she is the one that feeds her family, that finds the coin to keep them all alive, and all of that changes when she kills a fae in the woods, and her entire life changes once Tamlin whisks her away to his fairy court, and she doesn't really understand his reasoning behind that, always wears a jeweled mask, and she doesn't really understand that either. But quickly that hatred starts developing into passion, and the fairy world becomes even more dangerous for Feyre, and she needs to learn how to break an old curse or she will lose Tamlin forever. That being said, the first book is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. However, from the second book onwards, it really deviates from that retelling aspect, and I love every second of it. The second book, A Court of Mist and Fury, is my all-time favorite book in the series. Like, I love it so much. If you want good character development, if you want vivid setting, if you want steam, if you want romance, if you want conflict, if you want twists and turns, if you want found family, if you want magic and fairies and fantastical worlds and mystical magical wars, this book series is for you, okay? And I just need everyone to love it along with me. I cannot wait for the fourth book to come out. It is coming out in February, and I need it in my hands, okay? And I also need the physical copies of Akotar, because I read this book series back in 2017, so like 3 years ago, and I'm not even kidding, I've reread this like 6 times in the span of 3 years, and I still don't own them physically. Fall is the perfect time for cozy reading nights. Share your favorite cozy reading accessories. I have like 3 staples for fall, and I say this in a very loose manner because here where I live, there ain't no fall, okay? We literally have summer and winter is just rain and humidity and thunder. But I like to live in my fantasy. I turn on my AC, put on a sweater, and it's gonna be great, you know? But my staples are, first and foremost, somewhere I can put in my coffee or my water or something, and I usually take everything iced. It is what I always have on hand. I also have my blanket, which I absolutely love. It's full of like dog hair right now because my dogs were lying on top of this, but I just have this gray blanket that is so cozy and so soft. Like, I wish you guys could feel this. Another staple for me when I want to be real cozy and I know I'm turning on the AC so it's gonna get cold are these sweatpants right here from Pink. I absolutely love them. As you can tell, there's like a theme here with the blanket and the sweatpants and the sweater that I'm currently wearing. They're all gray, but I just love this big stitching that it has right here. Looks super cute on. Again, they're super comfy. And then I'm usually snacking. I always have goldfish with me when I'm like reading for a long time. So I would say those are basically like my comfort things for fall. Spread the autumn appreciation and tag some people. It really took me a while to figure out who I was going to tag, and I came down to 3 people. Molly from Mind of Molly. I cannot rave about Molly enough. Molly is the most wholesome, kindest person I've ever met, and I love Molly with my entire fucking being. I am also tagging Rachel from Let Me in the Library, who is another wholesome, kind person. She is just an incredible human being. I will also leave her linked down below. And last but not least, the person that was with me whilst I was reading The Poppy War and warned me of everything and fangirled with me, and that is Lily. Lily is also one of the kindest people I have ever met. Like, overall, just the people on BookTube, the way that they are on camera is the exact same way that they behave off camera, and that is the best kinds of people. If you are not subscribed to any of them, I will leave them linked down below so we can spread the love. And that is all I have for you guys today in the Finally Fall book tag. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you reached the end of the video, what could you comment? Comment some pumpkins down below to give off that Halloween vibe, and also comment down below if you've read any of these books. Definitely let me know, or if you're looking forward to reading any of these books, let us chat down in the comments below. I love answering to you guys' comments. If you have yet to subscribe to my channel, don't forget to do so down below. Again, I am constantly uploading content that I am sure you do not want to miss. You can also follow me on all of my social media, which are always linked down below, as well as my Amazon wish list in case you want to support me and my channel and gift me a book. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you all, and I will see you on my next one. Bye, guys.